Good morning and welcome to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Our focus this morning is on veterans issues. The Substance and Mental Health Services Administration reports that military service members, veterans, and their families are a growing community exposed to traumatic events, involvement in combat that causes losses and fears, injuries associated with combat, and in the U.S., about 10% of homeless people are veterans. In comparison to the civilian population, Iraq and Afghanistan war vets are facing elevated rates of suicide, mental illness, as well as drug and alcohol dependency. My first guests, they represent a family that's turning their pain into purpose. Gwen and Carmen Adams are the mother and sister of the late Corey Adams, an Air Force vet who lived with mental illness. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Thank you both for being here. Master Sergeant Corey Adams, your son, your brother, served 4 years on active duty with the Air Force, and then he joined the 440th Air Force Reserve in Milwaukee. Miss Gwen, Corey told you right after high school that he knew he wanted to go to the military. Why was that so important to him?
Corey was a very giving person, and he felt that as a man that he needed to give back to his country. And so he decided that he wanted to go into the military.
Yeah, and the Air Force, which is no easy thing. Did he actually fly?
No, he didn't fly.
Okay.
No, he was a logistics supervisor.
Okay, okay. But he really grew up watching his dad and his grandfather be military men as well, right?
Right. His father was in the Army. He was in the Vietnam War. And actually, Corey was born during that time. That his dad was serving his term over in Vietnam.
And this is the thing. I want our viewers at home to have a better understanding of who Corey was, what made him laugh, what he liked to do. So if you would, Carmen, kind of explain to us a little bit about his personality and the things that made him smile.
Well, his personality is a lot different from mine.
Oh, Lord.
He was very laid back. He enjoyed fishing. He would get up some mornings and go fishing before he had to go to work. He loved going to work out at the gym. That was his everyday routine. But I know the one thing that really made him smile is when his granddaughter was born. That was just his Chloe. He just loved her. So.
Yeah, so that really paints a picture for us. And I mentioned earlier that he served in Saudi Arabia during the Gulf War, later in Kuwait, and after he returned from a 6-month deployment in Afghanistan in 2009, you guys saw some changes in Corey's personality. What changed?
What I saw was when he got, you know, they let the family come out to the airport and they had a certain area for us to be in, and I you know, was looking for him, and as I looked at him when he came off, I looked in his eyes and I thought, something happened, something has changed. He just looked a little like distant or whatever, and so I didn't think much about it then. You know, time went on. He went back to work. He worked at the post office downtown. And he was always excited with doing family gatherings and whatever. For me, it was around, there were some little instances, but when it really came to fruition was like around 2013, the end of that, that January of 2014, he was in an accident, and he had a concussion. And from that, you know, and going to the doctors with him, and then after I found out he had filed a claim at VA. So I started, when I would ask him, Corey, are you, you know, what are you telling the doctors when you go or whatever? And I didn't feel like he was communicating well what was really going on with him. And he just started to withdraw more and not enjoy doing the things that he always did, you know.
Yeah, so eventually he ended up moving in with you and your husband.
Yeah, after you know, him some going back and forth to VA or whatever, I just, you know, like he used to get up and cook his breakfast and cook his lunch. He would even cook extra food to take down to the post office. And so running between the two homes, his home and mine. And so the last time he was in the hospital, and they told him that he was going to be discharged. And he said, well, I'm going home and stay with my mom and dad. And so, and that's what he did. He went straight to the house, to our home, and I went over and got some of the things that I thought he would need from his home. And, you know, we would go back periodically, you know, for him to check on things and if he, you know, wanted to stay there for a little bit or whatever. But after he stayed with us the last 6 months of his life.
Wow, okay. So what was he diagnosed with at some point? Was he diagnosed at the VA? Or
He was diagnosed with PTSD and bipolar disorder.
Okay. And so it's been almost a year since everything changed for your family. Take us back, and this is hard for me to hear because I witnessed all of this happening like so many people watching at home. March 20th, 2017. Take us back to what happened.
Well, we got up and now this is the first day, anyway, we got up and he had a doctor's appointment that Monday because his Monday was his day off from the post office. And so I said, Corey, what would you like for me to fix breakfast, or are you gonna do it today? And he was like, oh, Mom, I'll do it. You don't have to worry about it. And I thought that was kind of strange for him to say that because he hadn't really been cooking. And I said, well, okay. So he started gathering his things together and put him in the bathroom. You know, his towel he was very particular about, very much so about
That's that military, right? Yeah.
His clothes being ironed. He was like that as a kid.
Wow.
Yeah, his clothes being ironed, his certain things for his, you know, grooming for his body and stuff like that. So he had all of that in there. He left, his glasses were on the nightstand from where he left them the night before. His wallet was in his pants pocket from where he had came home from work, and his phone was in between the, you know, like if you were on the phone and you just put your phone down when you get through. So that's the way his phone, that's the way those things were actually left. So I said, well, Corey, I need to run an errand and I'll be right back. And he said, okay. And that was about almost 10 o'clock. I was back like about 10 minutes to 11. So when I came in, I said, hey, Corey. Oh, before I left, I hugged him. He was sitting on the bed. I hugged him, kissed him on the top of his head because he was bald and at this point, and told him I love him as I always do. And so then I left. And when I came back, I opened the door and I thought, I don't smell any breakfast food. And I came in and I said, hey, Corey, I'm back. And I didn't hear anything. So I, you know, immediately went in through the house, and when you come into the living room, the bathroom is straight to the back, and the door was open, and his towel and everything was still there. And I said, he must have went back and laid down. So I went into his room, no Corey. I went upstairs, no Corey. I went in the basement, no Corey. And his younger brother was upstairs and in his room. And I said, Curtis, Corey's not here. Have you seen him? Did he say anything or whatever? And so then he jumped up. And by that time, I got in my vehicle and I drove around across the street to the bank, because sometimes he would walk over to the bank or walk over to the store and get a pack of cigarettes or whatever. And no Corey. And I looked to see what was, you know, missing in terms of clothing or anything like that. And I said, well, maybe he went for a walk. And then I just had this really funny feeling. My husband came home and I said, something is wrong. I said, we need to call the police. And he was like, well, he's probably just gone for a walk. He'll be right back. I said, no, it's something wrong. So within 2 hours of him being gone, we called the 7th District Police.
Okay.
They first told us they were going to come out. Then they didn't come out. Then we called them back and they said, you're going to have to come. Then they called us back and told us, it went back and forth like that a couple of times. And then my husband wound up going later on that evening and filling out a missing persons report.
Okay. So Carmen, you really were on top of this right along with the rest of your family. And before we run out of time, I do want you to kind of talk about the police response and how that led you all as a family to fight for what's known as the Green Alert. How many days went by?
It was 8 days before we even got a response from the police department. And they only came out because somehow the story got leaked to a local news station, and they interviewed my parents, and then by the time I got off of work, the police were at my parents' house. And then after that, you know, they interviewed us and they searched everybody's homes and, you know, things like that. And I mean, that's pretty much all they did. And then on the 18th day, which was April 7th, I was at work and I got a phone call from one of my close friends, and she said, they just found a body at Deneen Park. You need to leave work to go see if that's your brother. Yeah. And once we even got to the park, they wouldn't talk to us, nothing. So, you know, we just at this point, with everything that has happened, to find out that they don't have some type of alert out there for veterans who have mental issues, because they do have the tendency to wander off and walk away like people with Alzheimer's and dementia. And so we just don't want any other family to go through what we've gone through. We don't want anybody to suffer like we did. We feel like veterans should be a top priority since they fight for our freedom. It's, you know, because of them that we're able to be here. And so, you know, hopefully it's passed in the Senate. It's kind of, you know, staggering right now in the Assembly, so we're just kind of waiting, but we know it's going to get passed. I do have a petition on change.org that people can go on and sign the petition, and that petition is for us to get all the support we can to make sure this is passed. I've had people actually reach out to me on Facebook from other states who want to adopt the Green Alert as well in their state. So once we get it passed here, we're going nationwide.
Yeah.
And the Washington Post called last week.
Yeah,
and
they
did an interview over the phone, and so it was in the Washington Post. And I also received calls.
Yeah.
It was just unbelievable that going back to all of the wars, and there is no criteria out there for veterans, I think it is just a disgrace.
Well, you see how God works, because He put you all in the position to make a change, and I respect and love everything that you are doing in memory of Corey, and to make a difference for so many other families out there. Of course, there's the Silver Alert for seniors, the Amber Alert for children, and now because of you and your fight, there will soon be the Green Alert.
That's
and
right.
It was with the help of Democratic State Senator LaTanya Johnson of Milwaukee, who really helped push this.
If it hadn't been for her,
Yeah, so I just wanted to definitely mention that. And
our Alderman Rainey.
Okay.
Khalif
has been here many times.
He wrote a resolution before the Common Council, and they passed it unanimously last month.
So he's been very supportive.
He's been very helpful with us as well.
Yes, and I just wanted to also give you an opportunity to talk about something that your other family member is doing, Corey's aunt, right?
Yes.
Your aunt as well.
Yes, one of my dad's younger sisters. She was blessed with 2 homes, which are on the same block Corey lived on when he was married. And she's opening up a homeless veteran, a home for homeless veterans, I'm sorry. One will be for women and the other one will be for men, and the name of it will be Corey's Place. And so each room will be dedicated to a branch of the military, and throughout the house they'll see pictures of Corey, and we're gonna have a documentary that'll be playing on the TV of Corey's life and our journey of getting this Green Alert passed. And so our plans are to have it open by the summertime, so we're very excited about that.
You guys, I mean, you give me chill bumps, and I am just really in the wake of everything that you've gone through. I just think that it is a blessing that you're able to make a difference, not only in the community where we live, but looking at the way things are going across the country. And the Lord doesn't do anything wrong. We know
That's
that,
true.
right? So I thank you all for coming by,
Thank you.
sharing your story, and we'll be all keeping our eyes open to see where this goes.
Right.
We thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
It's my
allowing us
pleasure.
to spread the word.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. Gwen and Carmen Adams, they're the mother and sister of Corey Adams, who was an Air Force Reserve Sergeant that served in Saudi Arabia during the Gulf War, as well as Kuwait and Afghanistan. Their work has pushed for legislation of the Green Alert in honor of their loved one, and Corey was a Master Sergeant. When we return to Our Issues Milwaukee, we'll talk to a representative from an organization that's mission is to help homeless and at-risk veterans on a daily basis. We'll find out more about the Milwaukee Homeless Veterans Initiative right after this.